And blessed to be with you, promoting our school, securing our future. Thanks to CapEd Credit Union and Team Mazda Subaru. As we do want to remind everybody, today's the last day for the Kevin Miller Cash Code Contest. Today's word in the 8 a.m. hour is invest. That's right, invest. The more words you have, the greater your probability of winning up to $5,000. Listen this afternoon to Sean Hannity and the Great American Program beginning at 3 o'clock on KIDO Talk Radio. When you hear me give you the code word, go to our website, log on, and I hope that you're a winner on KIDO Talk Radio. Joining us now, ICOM President, Dr. Tracy Farnsworth. Dr. Farnsworth, good to have you back.
Good morning, Kevin. Thanks for being here on our campus.
Always appreciate the fine work that you have and your staff and your students are doing here. You know, when last we were here, you were putting in a time capsule, I remember.
We were. My goodness, I'd almost forgotten. We've done so much in such a short time, but yes, that was shortly after the ribbon cutting.
Right.
In September, we followed with a little time capsule to have some fun, to capture the reality of what it meant to really start a new med school and put those little things in that box, and had a lot of fun with that.
We take a look at a year.
Yeah.
You know, getting the folks in. Right. You've come here from Eastern Idaho because you believe in the project. You believe in ICOM and how great it is for the state. So after a year, your thoughts?
Well, thank you again for asking. I'll go back 3 years, Kevin. It was, my gosh, February of 2016 when the governor and many other stakeholders announced the creation of this school as a public-private partnership with Idaho State University. And we've known for a long time, as you know, Idaho is almost dead last in the nation in physicians per capita. This is the epicenter of physician shortage in America. So we knew we had to have some kind of a solution. And in, my gosh, in 3 years, we built the team, designed the school, recruited and matriculated the opening class of students. We just cut the ribbon, my land, last September, right? I think you were here. And then here we are today, the last day of the first class, or the last day of school for this opening class. It really is a remarkable thing.
The responsibility of year one, conception to reality. You're the quarterback, and obviously it's the team, it's the students, it's the community. But here we are, from day one to the first day that will be remembered long after you and I are gone.
Yeah, it really will. You know, it's a startup school. It is extraordinarily difficult to start a new medical school. It does require a great deal of talented stakeholders. I emphasize our many stakeholders, the physician community, the hospitals and the health systems that have supported us in very important ways. The faculty are outstanding. They're among the best and brightest that have come from Idaho and around the country. And the students themselves, many of them from Idaho, many of them from around the country, have done their part. Have we had hiccups and challenges? Boy, you bet we have.
You couldn't tell from the outside.
You couldn't tell. Well, you know how it is. When you're inside, you know a little bit more than the others. And we certainly have had issues and challenges. But, my gosh, on balance, we really couldn't be more pleased with where we are today.
You know, going back to your previous statement, many people listening to KIDO Talk Radio will say, Dr. Farnsworth, how in the world can we be at a physician shortage at the epicenter of so much when we see hospitals everywhere? How does that work if we have all these medical facilities? How can we not have enough physicians?
Yeah, interesting. It's a good question. That's a bigger question for a bigger issue.
I don't have answers. I just have questions. Sir.
Yeah, exactly. Well, let me just say something about that. This country, as you probably know, has something of a healthcare crisis. We have a very fractionated healthcare system. Our costs are out of control. We spend roughly $10,000 per person per year on healthcare. Roughly 20% of our GDP goes to healthcare, which is really getting beyond belief. And so all of us, hospitals, physicians, allied health professions, have to work together to become a more seamless, coordinated, well-delivered healthcare system, being more collaborative and less competitive. And so we're trying to train physicians that are not only competent in caring physicians, Kevin, but that also understand the business and the economics of healthcare and can work together to deliver high-quality, and lower cost health care for everybody. That's crucial in this country and here in Idaho.
Your partnership with the hospitals in the area, what's that like?
Well, thank you. Again, the students come here for the first 2 years, and then in years 3 and 4 they rotate and go out amongst the hospitals in Idaho, the Mountain West, and beyond to do what they call clinical rotations or clerkships. Without those hospitals, without those physician partners, we simply couldn't deliver on the mission of ICOM. And it's really the same with all med schools around the country. So we need them, and we appreciate them.
This is a very special med school. They're all special, but here in Idaho, when we're talking about conception to reality, now we're building another building here already. Year 1 just done. The
Right.
expansion continues. The role of ICOM in attracting folks to Idaho that will stay in Idaho to help strengthen our medical community.
Right, excellent. Yeah, we have students actually from around the country, and we hope that many of them will stay in Idaho. Many of them will stay in Idaho if, Kevin, they get clerkships or clinical rotations here in Idaho, and more particularly if they can stay and perform what we call graduate medical education, or GME, here in Idaho. And that's another major issue that a lot of the folks don't really understand, is that med students come to med school, they graduate from med school, and then they go on to pursue graduate medical education where they learn their specialties. We're also almost last in the nation in graduate medical education programs, and so we greatly need our hospitals, our legislature, other stakeholders to help us to grow GME here in Idaho.
How would that work? Obviously, Governor Otter, now Governor Little, very concerned about this. We have so many people moving in. You know, we need high-tech infrastructure and we need medical infrastructure. Your partnership with the state legislature, with the governor.
Yeah, boy, that's a good question. Everything's a partnership, isn't it? I mean, you just can't go it alone in this world without partnerships and stakeholders and looking at the big picture, seeing how you become a part of it. We certainly, the Idaho College of Osteopathic Medicine, want to be very much a part of the healthcare solution in Idaho and beyond. We're one of many players. We have to grow medical education. We have to grow graduate medical education. We have to heal our fractured healthcare system. We have to expand Medicaid. And all of us have to do it together, right, in a give and take, collaborative kind of way.
Very different from politics, which is either usually one side or the other, sir.
Well,
polarizing.
Certainly at the national level, it feels that way. We hope that locally we can be much, much more collaborative. By the way, patients are another hugely important stakeholder in the healthcare system. We as patients need to do our part, to be more informed, to be more educated, to take care of ourselves, to be more proactive in the way we manage our health and the way we consume the precious healthcare resource, which is limited.
It is, of course. Then you have the frustration when you go in and, you know, we're talking about our fractured system. It takes 6 weeks to see somebody for a simple scan.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can get that back. And my favorite is when you go in and the first thing they ask you is your copay.
Absolutely.
You know, trying to bring back, you know, the medicine that you grew up with, that you grew into, that you've practiced, where, you know, you have that relationship with your physician. I've been very blessed that I've had physicians and pharmacists that have cared for me locally.
Yes.
But that's not the case for everybody.
No, it isn't. In fact, far too many Idahoans and Americans do not have what we call a medical home. Everybody needs to have a so-called medical home with a primary care provider and a team of allied health professions around that provider that can provide the appropriate level of care at the appropriate time. Not too much, not too little. That's a big issue in this country, and we don't do it very well.
Well, and look, Dr. Farnsworth, I don't want to get you in trouble, but then you got the insurance companies.
Well, and actually, they're a big partner in this. Believe it or not, we're seeing more collaboration between the insurance companies and the physicians and the hospitals than we've ever seen in this country.
Let's hope so. Let's hope so, sir, because we, again, you have that spirit of community and cooperation that is so important, and you have others that are so frustrated by, you know, you all of a sudden you want to get taken care of, and then you can't, or you can't afford it. And I know the president and his predecessor, former President Obama, President Trump, are trying to, along with the Congress, try to figure out this solution. And I think the reason why they didn't reform the Affordable Health Care Act is because the cost would have continued to go up.
Right.
That's just crazy.
Right, it is. Yeah, the ACA, Obamacare, the Affordable Care Act was my gosh, it's been nearly 10 years. And it has not been very popular, and yet much of the pieces and parts have been retained for a combination of reasons. Let me just come back to Idaho and acknowledge
Thank you.
my friend.
Save me from myself here, yes.
That's right. Our colleague and friend Dr. Ted Epperly led a state health improvement plan in the last several years that brought together the insurance companies and the physicians and the providers to create some superstructure that would help us be more collegial, more collaborative, less fractured, less siloed. And so we're getting some traction here in that regard.
Finally, Dr. Farnsworth, what do you say to people that are new to Idaho and are trying to figure out where to find a medical home? Any ideas? And I know that you know everybody, and just any broad basic guidelines.
Yeah, wow, that's a good question.
I'm glad you're saying this because Jeff the Suit, my boss, is...
Because your buddy's wondering the same question. Yeah, exactly. It's tough. It's more difficult than it should be. Most of us do it through networking, right? You can certainly call the Idaho Medical Association. You can call the Idaho Osteopathic Association. Those people have obviously contacts and would be happy to make a reference. You call the hospitals, the health systems, your local hospital. Call St. Al's, call St. Luke's, call the others. They'll be more than happy to refer you to a physician within their system. So that's what I would do.
Always appreciate you. Thank you for having us, Dr. Farnsworth.
Oh, my gosh. You guys come back anytime. We love to have you on our campus.
Thank you. We'll see you hopefully in the fall then.
I'd love it. Come back.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Kevin Miller in the morning here, KIDO Talk Radio. Phone numbers 580-5436, 580-KIDO, joined by John Michael Chambers. Mr. Chambers, thank you for joining us here. Great to have you back.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
So here we have the, institutions that are guaranteed by the Constitution. The president should be on every ballot. He is the president. He's not a candidate. And then you have some states that are just get plain wacky, whether it's getting rid of the Electoral College or saying we're not going to let him on the ballot. What's the latest on that?
I don't believe that this ballot game that they're playing against President Trump is going to have any standing when it all comes down to it. It's just another series of diversionary tactics and methods to further delegitimize this president as the left, the Democrats, and the deep state's real goal is and has been from the escalator and will continue on as it is to see that he is removed from office and not reelected. I think it's a big legal and constitutional battle, and it's probably fought on a state-by-state basis besides a federal issue with regards to removing him from the ballot. Now, some of the big states that they're trying to do this in are states the president typically wouldn't win anyway. But look, my overall view of this is real simple. The left, the Democrats, the deep state, et cetera, they can't win the elections fair and square. So they're trying to change all the rules, i.e. the ballot issue, people age 16 voting, changing the Electoral College, bringing in 100,000 people at the border so they continue to vote, for the Democrats. They can't win fair and square. They already lost a rigged election that they rigged in 2016, so they're panicking.
It sounds like a different country. It doesn't really sound like the United States of America here on KIDO Talk Radio when we're saying you give us your tax returns, as you, Mr. Chambers, have talked about, or we're not going to put you on the ballot. We're going to get rid of the Electoral College. Never mind that it's in the Constitution. It's just crazy. It seems that these folks, as you've just stated, are making it up as they go, and they don't want a fair and open election.
That's right, and it's a smack in the face off the fresh heels of Memorial Day for all those that have paid the ultimate sacrifice so other nations can have the same freedoms and opportunities as we had here in America. I mean, most people think we have a free and fair election system. The fact of the matter is we don't. And this is why President Trump very recently stated, in fact, on the South Lawn of the White House yesterday and other times, that we must restore the paper ballots, quote, in this modern age, because he understands very thoroughly the rigging of the computers. So, yeah, it's a challenging time. And as far as get tax returns, I'm not a constitutional lawyer or expert in these matters, but it's my understanding you need an amendment to the Constitution to pull something like this off. And but who knows? Here's the bottom line: if they end up getting all of Trump's financials and tax returns, it'll backfire against them if these things end up in Maxine Waters' lap of all people. God help us. But the bottom line is President Trump has been audited, and he's told us this forever. If there were crimes there, that kind of would have come out already. So it'll end up with, like they did with the Mueller hoax, a nothing burger on his financials and taxes. And furthermore, Trump will lay the trap, because if this happens, there'll be precedents now in the courts, being right or wrong, it'll be there in the courts, and Trump will then go and subpoena Dianne Feinstein, Adam Schiff, Nadler, Pelosi, and others, and we'll take a look at their financials. And believe you me, in there you may very well find the crimes that they're accusing the president of.
John Michael Chambers, we appreciate you. If people want more information, how to get a hold of you and how to stop this, what can they do?
Well, johnmichaelchambers.com is my website. I've written over 400 articles. My books are available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Apple, as well as on my website. And, there's a very good website, wh.gov/tech-bias. This is an official Donald Trump Washington website where people can report their censorship issues through a series of fields. Things are changing. Stay connected to the president in case our communication abilities continue to get censored.
And what was that website one more time?
Sure, it's WH for White House, wh.gov, G-O-V, /tech, T-E-C-H, bias, B-I-A-S. It's a remarkable website, and I've used it because I've been censored a bit here and there, and then you report it. So they're building the case against censorship. And furthermore, it's very interesting and somewhat alarming. One of the fields, as you're filling this out, says something, and I'm paraphrasing it, it says something like, this is an important section to fill out in the event we are unable to communicate through the normal social media, et cetera, means. So something is brewing. Facebook is about to be sued for $5 billion under the federal investigation that they're under for the privacy infringements. Google and Twitter are also answering to Ted Cruz under hearings. So I think in 2020 forward, we'll be hearing about antitrust laws and busting up monopolies. But that's a great website. And one more site, follow President Trump, promiseskept.com. These are official websites from Trump that state all the accomplishments the president has done since the fake news media won't report it.
Thank you, sir. Take care, Mr.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Coming up next, more from ICOM, Kevin Miller, KIDO Talk Radio. My great friends who are very loyal to KIDO Talk Radio and Kevin Miller that would never wander. Aaron and Rob joining us now. Apparently, Aaron, good to see you, Aaron.
It's great to be here, Kevin.
You know, you always appreciate me.
Always.
Don't you?
There's no other name that comes out of my mouth.
Exactly, exactly. Okay. Well, thank you both for being here. Always appreciate your support. And Rob, nice to see you.
Oh, wow. This is a setup. How's this going to go?
Wow.
Hey, I wanted to tell you, I saw Jerry Brock last night. He said to say hey.
That's awesome.
A big supporter.
Well, we appreciate that. You know, people that listen to this program do support this program, and
we try.
That's why we're very loyal to this program.
I was there almost every day last week.
You were, as opposed to Aaron.
Yeah, Aaron wasn't. I was there, though. When it mattered, I was there.
Well, speaking of matter, what we're talking about is Miller's Mission, and here we are, another completed season of Promote Our Schools, Secure Our Future, another completed season of Miller's Mission. We've been doing both since 2010, and as I've said before, we couldn't do it without both of you, the service department, the sales department, the finance department, everybody at Team Mazda Subaru. I can remember when Mr. Studebaker came up to me at the Snake River Stampede at the Buckaroo Breakfast and said, boy, that guy looks sweaty, but we'd like to be involved with him.
Was it sweaty?
And,
I'm not sure.
Well, it's for entertainment purposes only, this program.
Got it.
And Aaron, you were there as well, and we've been together. We couldn't pick a better team than to allow us to really make differences in the Treasure Valley. And, that whole team concept that you two so graciously have helped us with. And that's not sarcasm as you're laughing at me. I'm saying it's real, and I really appreciate you two being there. Because of you and so many folks in the Treasure Valley, we've made a significant difference. The largest Miller's Mission Spring Edition ever. Last week, we collected over $16,743, and that's without a match. That was pennies, that was gifts, that was people from across the country listening on our stream, actually, sending in checks. And as I've said, you are our partners, you're our sponsors. We couldn't have done it without you guys, and of course, the people that have donated as well. So thank you both.
Wow, that's outstanding.
Yeah, I think
we're really
it's
glad to be a part of that.
Like the good doctor was talking to you off the air. You make it so easy to follow. You're a man of conviction, and you do your word is gold, and you do what you say you're going to do. And when you set out to help the people of this community, we couldn't find a better person to get behind to do all the things that you do, because we know that if we're doing it with you, it's the right thing.
Yeah, Rob, would you like to expand on that?
Wow, you just keep this going, huh? No, I feel the same way. Aaron and I are definitely looking for opportunities that are more community based, and you've got us in some great places, including where we are today.
Indeed, and coming up this summer, we're going to be hitting some more schools, and we want to announce right now exclusively that Team Mazda Subaru will be the pre-show home of the God and Country Festival. We'll be broadcasting our show from Team Mazda Subaru the day of God and Country, where people come from all over the country to the amphitheater at the Ford Idaho Center. And we were there last year. You guys were next to us. So we're going to expand our coverage. We're going to have the entire community come out to Team Mazda Subaru. That'll be June 25th, I believe. It is that Wednesday, 25th or 26th. Then we'll have the God and Country Festival. So I want to thank you guys for hosting that.
We are very excited to be a part of that. As Christians, God is good, and we're backing you on this one as well, because it's a really good one.
KIDO Talk Radio, traffic and weather together. With us once again, Aaron and Rob, Team Mazda Subaru. Can you guys hang on for a minute?
Love to stay with you.
All right, more coming up from Icon next. Kevin Miller, KIDO Talk Radio. Good morning, Maggie. Thank you, Aaron. Appreciate you. Aaron and Rob joining us, Team Mazda Subaru. Kevin Miller in the morning. We were talking about the end of the school year, and having spent last week living at the Idaho Center, across from it at Walmart, you get to see all the schools, all the kids from Canyon County come out in their graduation, in their outfits, and really be a part of the community. Here we are, this time of year, people getting ready to graduate, June just around the corner. What about you? Do you remember your time in school? You remember the kids? You remember the fun? You remember your dreams, Aaron?
I do. I think I had a little different view than Mr. Jeff over there. I remember practicing for our final walkthrough for graduation, and I just remember this sadness came over me, because these kids that I had been with since, I'd say, 6th grade, and my friends, I knew that we would all never be together again, and it was really somber for me. I was really sad. I actually got a little depressed about it.
So you actually liked your classmates as opposed to people listening last hour. Jeff the Suit really had a lot of disdain for his peers.
I think that with my personality type, I was having fun. I was going to have fun, and for a 16, 17, 18-year-old young-blooded American, I loved school. That's where the girls were, and, you got to learn a little bit, and I just had fun with it. So, and I enjoyed my time. I really did.
I know, talking to Aaron, too, he was a good student, so I think that helped if you're at the bottom.
I was just going back to the girls.
Struggling. Yeah, well, there's that, too. I was trying to keep it clean, Kevin.
Nothing bad about the girls.
Well,
today it's the girls and the boys, but
fun.
Different times.
It was fun. I had fun, and I was.
You were alive.
Yeah, and
you were free.
I wasn't.
You were unshackled.
As smart as Kevin or Jeff or probably Rob, but I was smart enough to get out of there with like a 3.6 and not turn in homework and do good on tests. And I hope my kids didn't hear that right now.
Wow.
So.
Wow.
You know, I had a good memory, I guess. You know, I paid attention a little bit and
Sure.
just had fun. I think that's
He
the
does
key.
have a good memory. Sometime you ought to challenge him with music trivia.
You ever notice that, though, how he just smacked us, gave us the backhand there and a compliment at the same
Because we
time?
weren't 3-6s. Yeah, I get it.
Right,
Mhm.
right, exactly. What about you, Mr. Studebaker?
I have similar experience. You know, I definitely was ready to get out of high school when it was over, but missed parts of it.
Right.
But both of us have had children who've gone through school. You know, we find that this community's got great connection with school, and we're big on it.
Yeah.
No, we go back to the question, though. I love this question. If you could go back and have a conversation with yourself at 18, what would you say? What would you do? Anything different?
You know, similar to what Jeff said, I would say, even for me, not worry so much about what other people thought. Just be bold. Be bold and then not be afraid, because nothing bad's going to happen. I mean, right? You just be yourself.
I don't know
and
about
throw
that.
it out
Being
there.
bold, I mean, that's a lot of pain. You know, a lot of us are bold, and, you know, we end up wearing penny shirts at 51.
And doing great things for a community that absolutely adores you and comes out in droves when you're at some place.
Sure.
I mean, I had to wait a half hour to get in here. Had to go through security. Nobody's getting to Kevin Miller.
Try
Thank you,
to be self-deprecating again, Kevin. You're doing too many good things. Nice try.
Well, the community is doing good things, and we are just the humble conduit to it. And, again, thanks to you all. Now, let's talk cars. I've been doing some research on you guys.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So this Subaru Ascent that people are talking about, Consumer Reports, 90, I think it's as high as they go, either a 96 rating or a 98 rating, the same as a Toyota Avalon, which is wild when you consider the Ascent is brand new. But people are talking about this as pretty much reviving or reinventing the SUV, if you will.
Well, I'll indulge you for just a second. So the Subaru Corporation in America,
give us the inside.
has
Yeah,
89 records, 89 monthly records in a row. So there's been 89 months that they've broken records in the United States selling Subarus.
right.
It is probably the best appliance that you could buy in terms of resale value, in terms of reliability, in terms of safety. It doesn't get any better. They're just so good. So we're very lucky to have the line. Then they build this Ascent. It's a third row. I think it's got 9 USB ports.
9 USB ports. What do
it's-
you need to plug in?
it's
19 cup holders.
19 cup holders. I mean, it's unbelievable.
I don't have
in
that
terms of
many people in my house.
It's the minivan for people who hate minivans because it's a sport utility. It's all-wheel drive. It's fun to drive. It's a turbo. You know, it gets good gas mileage.
It's
And
a little higher up,
it's the
too, right?
safety. Yeah, it's that mid-size sport utility that competes very well with all the others. And we think it's better. You know, we're biased because we're there, but we get to drive them. We get to enjoy them.
You've got like some crazy safety features on it where it can the camera can peer around or something like that.
Yeah, it's got what they call it eyesight, and it's amazing technology.
Right. There we have it. The new Subaru Ascent, people are really blowing it up when we talk about safety. What about Mazdas? What's
Oh
going
my
on
gosh.
with Mazdas?
Mazda.
Zoom.
They're well.
Do I zoom? Could I zoom?
Well,
Let's get your wings.
yeah, we could. Maybe you need to drive one. Why don't you come in?
Right.
You've been driving Subarus for so long.
Yes.
You need to drive a Mazda.
They are on the cusp of just resurgence right now. The technology that they've came out with, the new CX-5s with the turbos, the Mazda 3s all-wheel drive turbos. I mean, they're coming out with some really hot product. And, they're not quite as good as Subaru is at marketing yet. And the stuff that's coming out, they're coming out with the diesel.
Yep.
The diesel engine in the CX, and it's going to be
Yeah,
amazing.
we're really lucky because the two compete very well with each other because they're just so good in terms
Right.
of technology and getting so much for your money. You know, you get it all. You know, for in a CX-5 around $30,000, there's not much more technology you could possibly get in a car, packed into a car.
Well, as long as it's easy to use.
Yeah, it's got kind of a toggle in the center.
like the
It's
toggle.
all-
Toggle
with the
yeah.
screen, and it's just like wop, wop. It's easy.
It's very intuitive. It's not hard to use. If I can do it, anybody can.
Well, your mic just went out, so thank you. There, it's
Check
loose
1 2.
wire.
Is that back? Am I back?
Sibilance.
Wow.
Exactly.
Sibilance. 1, 2.
I told you it's the deep state trying to get us.
I think
It
so.
is. They're
I
cutting
think
us
so.
off.
They're-
It's Subaru. Subaru doesn't want me talking about
swooped
Mazda.
in.
What?
Swooped in.
Finally, what's going on this weekend with you guys?
You know, this is the highlight of our weekend right now.
As it
Today,
should be, yes.
starting, getting to spend time with you and backing you. We love talking about Kevin Miller. We love supporting you.
And you know something, I appreciate that, but it really is the entire Treasure Valley. I love you guys. When you guys are out there working, you guys are working on the weekends when other people are just hanging out. So and you guys reflect that work ethic.
Working on the weekends.
Right.
Isn't that a song?
Yeah. Yes.
You often, we're going to have you there on a Saturday.
Yes.
Yeah. We're going to be working on Saturdays together.
Gentlemen, anything else I can share with you?
We're psyched to be a part of what you're doing, and we're going to stay with you and do lots of things this summer, and let's kill it.
Can't wait for God and Country just around the corner. And we want to invite the community to come out and join us there. We'll be a team on Wednesday the 26th, and God and Country that night. What a way to kick off the July 4th holidays in Canyon County and throughout the area, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, we wouldn't want to miss it. That's outstanding.
Gentlemen, thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
Kevin.
Kev.
Thanks for having us.
My voice is going, but we appreciate that, Aaron and Rob. Rob and Aaron, Team Mazda Subaru. Stephanie Dillon joining us here, the communications director from ICOM. Stephanie, we appreciate her having us here, and it's hard to believe it's only been a year of ICOM, and I had to be reminded about that by Dr. Farnsworth. A much-needed concept becomes a reality.
Yes, it's hard to believe. We haven't even been inside this building for a year. We actually moved in June 15th of last year, so the students are wrapping up their first academic year today.
What goes on inside this building? Most of us, we're driving in from Canyon County or from the City of Trees. We see this big, elaborate, ornate building. What secrets are happening here? What's really going on?
The big secret is that this is the place where the physicians of the future are being trained. This is the most modern medical school in the country. We're the newest medical school in the country right now, so we have a lot to offer in terms of advanced technology and modern curriculum, aside from the gorgeous building. Though we welcome anyone who wants to stop by, and we're happy to give tours and show off all the cool things going on inside.
And really, there are cool things. It's just not your average, ordinary tour. You can see some really innovative stuff that, are about the future of medicine.
Definitely. So we have 6 high-fidelity simulation mannequins, as some student doctors have shared with you earlier this morning.
High-fidelity mannequins?
Yes. So they are essentially high-tech robots. They can blink, breathe, bleed. They act like a normal human patient would. They can even respond to the student doctors as they're performing different things on them.
Right. And when we talk about the need for a medical school here in the state of Idaho, obviously, we have hospitals on every corner, but not a lot of doctors.
Right. So Idaho ranks 49th in terms of number of physicians per capita. And that's part of ICOM's mission, is to train osteopathic physicians who want to stay in Idaho and the Northwest region and practice medicine to address that shortage.
So we bring in a bunch of people, we get them to love the gem state, then we get them to stay.
Exactly.
That's the hook. Now, about you, people remember your time on television, very different from what you're doing today. Having worked with you from the beginning of the season to the end of the season, is this more than a job to you?
It definitely is. I'm fortunate in that I think I'm a natural storyteller, and so that I got to carry on in this job, and just sharing the story of ICOM, sharing the student stories. It's a blessing.
Where do you see ICOM in 5 years?
I see us having graduated our first class and continuing to prepare physicians to want to stay in this area and practice medicine, and advancing graduate medical education. And we've made a financial commitment to advance residency opportunities as well.
Right, because it does come down to working with the hospitals here in the area, right?
Yes, so we have affiliations with 35 hospital systems and clinics, and that's where our students will practice their rotations in years 3 and 4.
Right. Economically, what does ICOM mean to the Treasure Valley, and maybe just specifically to the city of Meridian?
We bring in we bring in more people to the city of Meridian. And through our partnership with Idaho State University, you can see the construction going on right next door.
Well, we can't because we're on the radio, but yes, we'll take your word for it.
The
You're
viewers can. If they're driving by, they can see it.
Right, you're a trusted source. Yes.
Yes. We gave them $2 million for the expansion of their anatomy and physiology lab, and that is a true benefit for Idaho State University and the greater state.
Right, so you have, Idaho State University with their Meridian campus, ICOM here. After year one, you're building more facilities, a great partnership that really, really can help the Treasure Valley and help the city of Meridian. I can't emphasize that enough.
Yeah.
And really getting folks treated and educated.
Yes, and we actually purchased land across the street to expand our parking lot. We are running out of parking,
Right.
and we'll be welcoming the class of 2023 on August 5th, so an additional 162 students, and they need place to park, so we're going to start building that parking lot soon.
Well, on KIDOTalkRadio.com and KIDO Talk Radio, Stephanie Dillon joining us, Communications Director with ICOM here, Promote Our Schools, Secure Our Future. I mean, this is a brand new building. You're building another one. You're bringing in more people. Do you have enough room because of the demand?
Now we do. Yeah, we feel pretty confident that we do now. We don't have plans to build an entirely new building elsewhere in the state, although
Right.
never say never, but that's not within our 5 or 10 year plan right now.
That would be tough to find an area that would rival this on so many levels. Finally, you guys are growing about as fast as the village.
It seems like it.
Stephanie, thank you.
Thank you very much.
And thanks for having us.
Of course, anytime. Come back anytime. You guys are great.
Yes, ma'am. You're listening to Kevin Miller, KIDO Talk Radio. KIDO Talk Radio, Kevin Miller in the morning. Appreciate you joining us and appreciate Stephanie Dillon and Dr. Farnsworth and all the students that have stopped by who have joined us this morning. Getting nostalgic here. The last day of school for many people. Jeff the Suit rejoining us, who's involved with the quality control and direction of this program, and my supervisor per my employment contract, specifically by name at full disclosure. Good morning once again, sir.
That is the biggest lead-in I've ever heard. Hi. Good.
And it was smooth. There was no stumble.
It was.
This time.
I'll tell you what. If we're evaluating your work today, I'd give you high marks for today, especially on NyQuil and all this. You haven't said anything too ridiculous.
Not yet.
No. We have 8 minutes, so we got time.
We have 8 minutes,
Okay.
and by the way, let's go back to our favorite topic of discussion: the president. This is a great time to be alive, a great time to be involved, and we don't have many people that disagree with us. We have liberal Steve, and we have a gentleman who said he was a, quote, dirty little liberal who stopped by last week.
Okay, I missed that.
But
What
and he
does
was
that
about 27 years old, said he disagrees with everything on this program, but he so generously donated to the Boise Rescue Mission. And your mic's shorting out. So back to this this idea that I can't understand why people don't appreciate President Trump. I can't understand why they don't understand the great things going on in America today. So, without labeling you, could you give us, well, the other perspective?
Sure, I'll label me. I'm very libertarian. I don't appreciate President Trump, but I don't think the story is ever about the president itself, and I think that's indicative of what you're talking about with Miller's mission. I think that's what, really our Treasure Valley community is all about. We all have different political understandings and values, right? But it's the stuff that transcends the political ideologies and the categories that we fall into that is really where people come together and do big things. And that's something I sense here at ICOM, that there's a lot of politics that get intertwined in medicine, and healthcare becomes a big debate and a big wedge issue.
Right.
But they're here just training doctors to help people, and that's their purpose here, and they want to make an imprint and a difference in our state. And
Weren't we talking about Donald Trump?
it's Miller's mission last week. I think we do better when we're not just talking about Donald Trump. I mean, I think, I watched him yesterday, and I was like, man, this is our president. There are good things.
Great.
Yeah.
He's wonderful.
He is. He did the election all by himself. He won all by himself.
Won me.
No one needed to help. No one needed to.
But do you really take that statement seriously?
I think he does at times. I don't take him seriously, and I don't take even the arguments about it seriously because, again, I think you and I, we like jousting. Like, we like going back and forth. But the truth is, even if we agree or disagree about who's in whatever office, the things that we unite on are the important things. And that's what – this is fun. It's sport.
Right.
When it really comes down to what matters, it's the pennies that came in last year surpassing $16,000 – last week surpassing $16,000. It's getting together and making sure that our services in our community are helping people who need a hand up and not a hand out. And that's the stuff that, when we really get down to it, when we put the back and forth aside, that's what matters, and that's what the real story is.
Well, thankfully, we have Liberty Linda, who's been so gracious for
holding
here
yes,
and backing us up. Liberty Linda, I so apologize. Thank you, Ray Amaya, for reminding me. Good morning. Welcome to the program.
Good morning, Kevin. And I can say, may God bless Kevin Miller. I second that. Thank you for all that you do. $17,000. Wow, a penny. Oh, Kevin, that's absolutely wonderful. All the help that'll bring to the people in the area that need that help. Thank you so much for all the work you do for that. And good morning, Jeff the Suit.
Hello, Linda.
Hello, Kevin. Nancy Pelosi.
Well, Liberty Linda, what do you make of Jeff the Suit not liking our beloved president?
Well, we still love Jeff the Suit. He's a wonderful person, but, he should have learned something through the show, right?
He should have.
Listen, he can make America great again when he exits.
Oh, did you believe that, Liberty Linda? How dare he say that? Smack him.
Well, we know he's a real smart guy. We know that.
The president.
Anyway, we appreciate you, Jeff the Suit. And I
You
want to
too.
say, too, how much we love Ray Amaya. And we're, those who know Ray are so cognizant of the good work he does behind the curtain there. And, so we love all of you. We love you, Kevin Miller, Jeff the Suit, and Ray Amaya, and all the good work you do for us. We love tuning in every morning,
Well,
and
we love the president, and Jeff the Suit doesn't love the president.
well, we don't know what are we going to do. We're going to have to do something.
It's about time that we take a look at Jeff the Suit.
Oh,
yeah,
believe
we'll
me,
have
it's
to tie
going
his
on.
hands behind his back or do something. I don't know.
Look, we all have crazy relatives that we love, and we don't necessarily want them running the country or even our family. So that's kind of the situation we're in. I wish him well. I'm sure he's a great guy.
Maybe we could have an intervention for Jeff the Suit, Liberty Linda.
Like it doesn't happen daily.
Well, the president is a cousin of mine.
Yeah, he's your cousin.
I'm
He is.
sorry.
He's a distant cousin, but we have all the same grandfathers and grandmothers. You guys go back a little ways. But,
Oh, you're probably grateful for the distance. That's good.
Anyway, we
Liberty
certainly
Linda, I'm
appreciate
so
you,
sorry
Jeff.
that you're hearing these snarky conversations, these jabs at you. Is there anything else you'd like to share with us, please?
Well, just that, Nancy Pelosi finally spoke the truth. She said the truth will come out now, and she was right. In 9.5 minutes, the truth sure did come out when Mueller spoke. Of course, that wasn't the truth she was talking about. So anyway,
We've got him on
also-
the run.
Yeah, we all saw through what Mueller said the other day, and we're so thankful for those 9.5 minutes. Because look what it's done. Look now what it has done. We have truth out there. We know what's going on in our country, and I admire our president so much. And,
As do I.
basically that's what I would like to say. Let's get behind our president, all the good he's doing for our beautiful, wonderful United States.
God bless you, Liberty Linda. Thank you.
You as well, Kevin. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
More than happy to be behind him. I just want to push him off to the side, but that's all good. Yeah.
More with Jeff the Suit in a minute. KIDO Talk Radio weather from the Channel 7 First Alert Weather Center. Before that, traffic. Good morning, Dave. Larry's on the road today, as are we, ICOM. Having a good day, promoting our school, securing our future. The Idaho College of Osteopathic Medicine. Jeff the Suit, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. And thanks to all our teachers, too, on this final day of school for a lot of them. Man, we appreciate what you do.
And thanks to the parents and everybody paying the taxes. God bless everybody. Keep the faith.